everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. So this is a bit of a different scenery for me today. I'm actually at my mum's house. I'm currently looking after my niece and she's just gone down for a nap, so I'm already like kind of into mum life already. So I've got the monitor here and I'm just checking on her, but I'm like worried I'm speaking too loud, but she's got her white noise on so she should be fine. Anyway, this is a bit of a random vlog, but one I really wanted to make because they really helped me in my first trimester, and it is a first trimester survival guide, tips, how I dealt with it, how I got through it, what things helped me. So I really hope this can help you guys too. If you are new here, I am nearly 17 weeks pregnant. I'll be 17 weeks in 2 days. Yeah, I am nearly 17 weeks pregnant and I had, I would say, quite a good first trimester in all honesty. I actually felt really lucky, which almost makes me feel like should I be making this video, but I did still have some really rough points. I would say I was really lucky because I wasn't sick. That's why I would say I was lucky, because I wasn't sick. I absolutely hate being sick. I've got a real phobia of it. I felt like the fact that I wasn't sick was like a huge bonus. Like I feel so sorry for the women that are like continuously sick. I did have quite a lot of nausea. I'd say up until about 9 weeks I felt incredibly nauseous and very sick a lot of the time, but I wasn't actually sick, so that was good. But I did suffer with headaches, and I feel like speaking to people, you're either a really headachy person or you're a sickness person in that first trimester, and I was definitely a headaches person. I had the worst headaches from about 7 weeks I'd say until about 13-14 weeks. It was really bad. Every single day I was waking up with one and I was in absolute agony. But I wasn't sick, so I just count myself lucky. Like I can deal with a headache, but sickness is just like, no. Yeah, in general I'd say I had a really good first trimester. I did really struggle with energy at times, like I'm sure everybody does, but in general I wasn't too bad. I managed to kind of carry on as much as I could with things. I actually felt it better when I carried on. When I kind of like stepped back and chilled, I actually felt worse. So yeah, I felt better when I carried on. Lots of different things helped me in the first trimester. Like literally loads, so I'm going to go through them now. But I'd say the first thing that helped me, because I'd say one of my worst symptoms was actually anxiety. I think that caused me to feel iller than I actually was. I was so anxious from literally the moment I found out till, well, I'm still quite anxious now, but I'm kind of a little bit better now that things are kind of progressing. But I would say anxiety really got the better of me. These are some things that really helped me alleviate my anxiety. So the first thing was the apps. So I downloaded Pregnancy Plus basically the second I tested positive on stick, and that really helped me just to see where the size the baby was and what was happening that week and that day. That really helped alleviate my anxiety and just make me feel like, okay, things are okay, we're good. I remember it though because it was so tiny at one point. Like it's so crazy, when I was like 4 weeks it was like the size of a poppy seed, and I was just like, okay, like is this even gonna grow? It's crazy, like I don't know, it's just mental. But it does really help. Like the more the weeks go on, the more you're like, oh look how far I've come, like I can do this, we can get further. So this is Pregnancy Plus. I absolutely loved it, and you basically go on and it gives you like a really good view of the baby, and you can spin it around, and it gives you like an actual real-time view of them and what's going on. Like this week, God, what was that? Yeah, there's fat formation happening this week, so the baby is putting on a little bit of fat. There's loads of stuff it can go through. You can go through all sorts of things, the size of the baby. So if you're not familiar with it and you are pregnant or you're newly pregnant, I would highly recommend that you download it. Another app I absolutely loved, what is that? Oh, it's a moth. Oh. Was Peanut. Now this is not sponsored by Peanut, because I do know they sponsor some videos of some people who do YouTube and Instagram, things like that, but this is not sponsored at all. I wish it was, because I have literally gone on about Peanut from the second I got pregnant. I've loved it. I don't know why I downloaded it actually. I just downloaded it, nobody told me to. I think it just came up as a ad on my phone. So I downloaded it about 5 weeks, and oh my god, I've used it every day since. It's basically like a community of women within your kind of due date. So you can join different groups. So at the minute I'm part of like February 2022 due dates. I think I'm March 2022 due dates too. And just lots of other groups. Basically I think I've got one like to do with babies and pets and things like that. It just really helps. I've posted on there so many times, like in the last however many weeks, it's ridiculous, just to basically get advice and help. especially when you're in the really early days and you don't want to tell everyone so quickly. It's just nice to get a little bit of advice on what to do and is this normal and blah blah. So yeah, I absolutely loved peanut. I'd say peanut is overall a blessing, but I'd say it can sometimes be a little bit of a curse. There was a couple of times where I did actually have to take myself off it, especially in them really early days when a lot of people unfortunately did end up having miscarriages. I kind of got to know them quite well. I was on exactly the same due date as them, and they'd say they had a miscarriage, and that would just put me in such a spin of anxiety. So there was a couple of times where I had to delete it and actually come off of it, but I think from about 9-10 weeks I was on it pretty much continuously and I felt fine. Another thing within the technology realms is YouTube. I YouTubed so much. I watched so many people's first trimester vlogs. Also the weekly vlogs with Charlotte Louise Taylor, who I just absolutely love. I'll put her channel down below too. She's so lovely. She's a mum of 3 and she basically vlogged all of her, well, not her first boy, but her other 2 pregnancies, and they were just absolutely brilliant. They're just such good videos and I just found them so helpful. So yeah, I really enjoyed YouTube. I watched a lot of it. I think basically there isn't a first trimester vlog out there that I haven't watched, so yeah. Technology is amazing. I absolutely utilised it so much in my first trimester for advice, for help, for just reassurance, lots of things. But I would say just keep it in mind that it can sometimes make your anxiety a little bit worse, especially in them really early days. But I would say just be really mindful of it and just try and avoid your trigger points. Okay, extra scans. So I've been asked this question before on Instagram because basically I had 3 scans before I was 12 weeks. I had one at 8 weeks that we booked privately, one at 11 weeks that we booked privately, but that wasn't planned, that was a bit of a last minute thing, and then obviously our NHS 12-week scan. So I would highly recommend, especially if you are anxious, to get that 8-week scan. It is so lovely just to feel like, okay, there's something in there, I'm not making this all up. Obviously at 8 weeks you could pretty much find a heartbeat, and we did, and there was a little heartbeat pumping away, and it was just so lovely. And like, I just never forget that first scan when the sonographer turned around the camera and was like, sorry, turned around the screen and was like, congratulations, your baby with a heartbeat, and I just literally went, just burst into tears. Oh god, was that too loud? No, she's still asleep. Yeah, I just literally burst into tears. I was an absolute mess. Dale was also a little bit tearful as well. It was incredible. That 8-week scan is so lovely. We originally booked it for 7 weeks, but we actually pushed it back to 8, and I would highly recommend it. The 11-week scan was really lovely, and again a really special one, but that wasn't actually planned. I had a really bad water infection when we were away in Wales, and I just had serious stomach pain, and I was really panicking. I was like, oh no, I think something's gone wrong. So we booked a scan and everything was absolutely perfect. But again, that was really lovely because at the 8-week scan the baby isn't moving, it's literally just a blob lying there like that. Whereas at the 11-week scan it was like moving up and down and flipping around, and it was just so lovely to see it. But to be honest, we could have easily waited for our 12-week scan, so I wouldn't say that one's essential at all, but I would say the 8-week one actually is a really lovely scan. It's not essential obviously, but if you can do it, I would highly recommend you do it. The 12-week scan was obviously the NHS one. Absolutely loved it. It's such a nice scan. And then I had a 16-week midwife appointment not long ago, and I asked to listen to the heartbeat with a Doppler, and they said yes. However, I've since learned through my video on TikTok that that isn't normal. Apparently they don't really do that anymore. So don't get your hopes up if you do want to listen to the heartbeat. I would just ask, because like they might do it. My midwife was lovely and she just said, yeah, that's fine, I'll do it. And we found it. She was a bit worried we wouldn't find it, but we did. We found it straight away and that was all fine. But I haven't had any more scans in between the 12-week one and the 20-week, and I'm not going to. As tempting as it is, I've been so tempted to book one for this week, for my 17th week. Just like, oh, I just want to check everything's okay in there. But our 20-week scan actually got brought forward a week because we're going away. So I feel like it's going to be at 19 weeks. It's not too bad. It's only a couple of weeks to wait. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And yeah, I just can't wait. I love scans. And I just think, don't worry what people say. I had so many comments, and I still do, about just people saying, oh, you've had another scan, and oh, why are you having so many scans, just wait for your 12-week one. And that's fine. If people want to wait to their 12-week one, that's up to them. It's such a personal journey this is, and that's the one thing I'll say to anyone. Don't go on what other people do. If you want a scan at 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, you do it. You do whatever you want to do. There's no right or wrong. You just have to do it, and don't worry about what anyone else thinks, because I really got into my head. I was like, maybe I'm stupid for having an 8-week scan, and I thought, actually no, I'm not. The alleviation of anxiety it brung to both of us was worth everything. So don't listen to what people say, do your own thing. So that kind of brings me on to the next thing, which is letting people know. Some people don't want to tell anyone, and that before 12 weeks, and that's absolutely fine, and I totally get why. We were the opposite. We really found it so much nicer to tell people a little bit earlier. Obviously, because we did have our 8-week scan, we knew there was something going on in there, and we knew that, you know, things were progressing a little bit. So that made us a little bit more at ease to tell people, and I'm so glad we did, because that just really helped me. And Dale too, to be able to speak to his friends about it and things like that. So yeah, I would say if you are feeling anxious, the one thing that really helped me in the first trimester was letting people know that I'm pregnant. Obviously not everyone, not the internet, not people that you don't want to have to explain to anything to if anything goes wrong, but your closest friends and family who you just think, do you know what, if anything goes wrong, they're going to know anyway. I do really think it helps to tell them. So yeah, that is another tip I would say, is to let your closest friends and family know if you want to. That's so optional, obviously, as all of these tips are. Another thing that really helped me in the first trimester was lots and lots of fresh air. I think so many people relate to this. When you're in your first trimester, you literally want to lie on the sofa, not move. If you move, you feel sick. If you lie down, you feel sick. It's just a bit of a whirlwind. But the one thing that really helped me was going out for some fresh air every single day and doing a little walk. Some days I went for a couple of miles with Dale. Some days we literally went round the block. But just getting that fresh air like really helped me, and especially when I had headaches, just being inside all day just found it was really stuffy. So yeah, if you are struggling with headaches, get some fresh air in you, girl. Honestly, go out for a walk, it will help you feel so much better, I promise. So another thing, it's a bit of a random one, but especially if you are feeling sick, and I know a lot of people say this, is to have something to eat by your bedside as you wake up. This helped me so much. Like at first I was like, oh, I don't want anything to eat. You don't. When you first wake up, your first thought isn't, oh, food, I'm gonna eat something. But literally the second I woke up, if I had a cracker or a biscuit or something dry, as soon as I woke up, I could get up and not feel like I was going to puke. I would highly recommend that you have something by your bedside if you're feeling sick. I really like the Ritz crackers, and I liked plain digestive biscuits. Those were the two things for me that I really liked, and sometimes I had both. I had a bit of sweet, a bit of savoury, just to like sort my palate out. But yeah, I definitely think dry biscuits is a really good one. And whilst we're on the subject of food and drinking things like that, another thing that really helped me was just trying to get down as much water as humanly possible. It's really hard when you feel sick to drink water. Like even the thought of it now is making me feel gaggy, because I know what it's like when you feel sick. God, sorry. It comes, honestly, even when you're out your first trimester, just sometimes you're just like, ugh, ugh. Even today when I was trying to take my vitamin D pill, it's literally about that big, and I just couldn't take it. I literally was like, no, can't take it. Try and get on board as much water as possible. That really helped me. I was trying to take on litres and litres a day, and I just had to force it down, and it did stay down. But if you can't, don't worry about it. But if you can, just really try and drink as much as you can. Okay, so another thing that really helped me was to, basically I'm really bad at taking pills, and the pregnant care pills are huge. I mean, if you're not bad at taking pills, you'll probably think that I don't know what you're on about, but if you are, you'll understand. They're literally about that big. They are really big pills, and I really struggled at some points to take them. And I actually spoke to my midwife about it. I think, did I speak to my midwife? No, I put it on peanut actually. That's another good use of peanut. I said, I'm really struggling to take these pills. What else can I do? I really obviously need the nutrients or whatever it is in them. So a lot of people just said to me, literally just take vitamin D and folic acid for them first 12 weeks, and that's all you need. So the days where I could get down the pregnant care pills, I got them down, fine. The days where I couldn't, and I felt like they were just gonna come straight back up, I literally just took vitamin D and folic acid, and they're tiny little pills, and that is actually all you need. And that's all I've stayed with. So I've got such a stash of pregnant care pills, but every morning I still try and take them. I just feel like they just can't get down. So now, obviously I've stopped the folic acid because you don't need that after 12 weeks, but now I am taking the just vitamin D, which I didn't get down today, but I have got down the rest of the week. I'm just having a particularly sensitive gag reflex day. And last but not least, another thing that really helped me in my first trimester was literally just visioning our lives with this baby. like, and just envisioning everything as it goes along. It actually makes me emotional because I remember when I was in that state of anxiety and just thinking something's going to go wrong, we're never going to get here. And I mean, we're still not out of the woods yet, don't get me wrong, like until that baby's here there's so much can go wrong, but just visioning your life just even a week ahead and just thinking, right, so the baby at the minute is the size of a poppy seed, but tomorrow, next week, it's going to be a blueberry. And it's so silly, but that really helped me. And just thinking, okay, right now I'm at 8 weeks, but soon I'm going to be at 12 weeks, and can you imagine that scan, like what we're going to do to tell people, just literally envisioning it. And I know sometimes it's really hard because if things do go wrong, you almost set yourself up, but chances are they're not going to, so you just really have to be so positive. Also things like looking online for stuff really made me feel better. I think I only really did that past like 9-10 weeks, but just then looking online for like things like buggies and like cots and things like that just really helped me envisage what was going to be my life in a few more weeks. I just had to get there, and the only way to get there is just to stay positive and just stay calm. Yes, that is it. That is my first trimester tips and the things that got me through. I really hope this video was useful and helpful. I'm going to give you a little bump update while I'm here because I know people love this. This is I'm wearing a bit of a floaty dress today, so I don't know if you can really see, but this is my 17-week bump, and it's actually, I would say, weirdly gone down. I think I was so bloated in them really first days. I literally looked more pregnant than what I actually am now, and now I feel like I've deflated a little bit and like de-bloated, and my bump it's definitely sizable, but it's definitely got a little bit smaller, and now it's just baby, so, and a bit of fat. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please give this video a like, let me know what you enjoyed, and please subscribe because there's so much more baby and pregnancy content coming. I'm actually filming a maternity video next week, so maternity clothes, and also a little bit of a baby haul of what we've already got so far. Stay tuned, please subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.